In Germany, we serve more than 15 million consumers.
Wow.
Who can order from 35,000 restaurant partners.
If I'm not mistaken, by some of the numbers I've seen recently, you're making 10 times more revenue in comparison to 3 years ago.
Leadership is my passion, and I think leadership is a key factor to success for a company.
We want to make a good impression, so we ordered from Lieferando today.
The customer-centric approach brings loyal customers that stick to the app that serves their needs.
I had so many of these moments where I was like, I love technology.
Don't be afraid of that e-commerce business. This is why companies like we are here.
Hello and welcome to yet another episode of the E-commerce Germany News Podcast. I'm your host Efe Ajunas, and today I'm delighted to introduce to you Katharina Hauke, Managing Director of Lieferando DACH region. Lieferando reaches over 15 million end users and empowers 35,000 customers to digitalize their businesses. So let's find out from Katharina about what Lieferando does, about her leadership journey, and all the insights about how SMB restaurant customers can tap into digital marketing. Katharina, very nice to have you here in the show. Thanks for coming in and spending this next 40 minutes or hour with us. So let's get started, and we'd like to get to know you first and foremost. Please introduce yourself.
Yeah, first, thank you for having me, Eva. It's really nice to meet you in person. My name is Katharina. I'm born in Vienna, Austria. I studied international business administration there. The first part of my life was sports, dancing. I was a dance choreographer for kids and adults. Yeah, so until I finished my studies, I worked in that industry, and then I moved into the serious business of IT and personnel service in Vienna. And there I also met my now husband, who is from Berlin. We had a long distance relationship, Vienna-Berlin, for more than 4 years, because he had to really convince me to leave Vienna. Have you ever been to Vienna?
Not yet, unfortunately.
You have to visit it. But then 2009, I moved to Berlin for love, so not for the city first.
But you like the city also?
I love it, yeah. And I knew, after 4.5 years, so I knew what I had to expect. And I live in the north of Berlin, so in the green area, yeah, really nice and very similar to the part of Vienna where I lived.
Yeah.
And since that, so 14 years now, I'm in the digital industry. I started with Immobilien Scout 24.
Yeah.
You might know the market leader for real estate online platform. And after 7.5 years, I started at Lieferando, where I'm still, and maybe I can give you some more insights on that company.
Yeah, sure. I mean, obviously, senior badge there. We're really interested to find out about your journey at Lieferando as well. As far as I know, you've been there for 6 years. First of all, in the sales organization, and then nowadays as the managing director since 3 years.
Yeah.
So would be very happy to hear. For many of us consumers, we see the Lieferando delivery people out there using the infrastructure of the cities, bringing service to our homes, which is very also kind of an evolution of how we consume services. We are seeing like bikers using sustainable methods to deliver food to our homes, but I know for a fact that Lieferando is much more than that. So very, very curious to hear it from your perspective.
And as a summary, we deliver joy, because we deliver food, and food is joy. We deliver convenience and make life of consumers easier. That's the recipe of the success, actually. Lieferando was founded in 2009 here in Berlin. And this is also why we are so super excited, because next year in February we're going to celebrate our 15th anniversary.
Wow.
I could invite you to a nice party.
I'd be pleased.
But Lieferando is part of Just Eat Takeaway.
Yeah.
And Just Eat Takeaway is a global tech company, a European champion in online food delivery. It was founded 23 years ago already. So this is definitely not a startup anymore. It was founded in the Netherlands. This is where our orange color comes from also. And Just Eat Takeaway, and I say chat because we are in hypergrowth and dynamic mode. We need to be
fits
fast.
to you guys. Yeah.
So chat operates in 20 countries and serves around about 100 million consumers.
Wow.
And they can order from more than 680,000 restaurants worldwide. And Lieferando is the brand for Germany and Austria, where I'm the managing director now for 3 years. My anniversary was on June 1st.
How many customers do you have in Germany, for example?
In Germany, we serve more than 15 million consumers who can order from more about 35,000 restaurant partners. And when it comes to the B2B side, we enable those 35,000 restaurant partners in Germany to take part and participate in the increasing online demand and to make revenue in e-commerce. And why is here in e-commerce our support so important? Because the traditional restaurant owner, or 90% of the restaurants we have in our app as our partners, are small businesses, family-owned businesses. And you can visualize the pizzeria around the corner, Luigi and his family. Luigi is a really good host. He's chef in his kitchen.
He loves what he does.
He loves what he does, Food tastes delicious.
And he loves companies that bring him joy.
Or
help him bring joy.
Help him bring joy, and especially Luigi is not, and with our support, doesn't have to be digitally inclined or internet savvy. And this is...
He needs simplicity, probably.
Correct.
Yeah.
And all the knowledge of how to digitalize his restaurant business. This sounds funny, but he can rely from A to Z as a full service provider in digitalization of the restaurant industry on us.
So pretty much from his kitchen, from the order, from his kitchen, all the way to customer satisfaction, making sure that the whole process is functional.
Correct. And it's all about the consumer. It's consumer first. The hungry customer, not to make him or her hangry, the hungry customer is our boss and also the boss of the restaurant partner. So we are here to make customers happy, to ease their lives, to bring them joy to the TV night, for example, or the breakfast in the morning. And it sounds easy to set up a website, to set up the app.
We want to make a good impression, so we ordered from Lieferando today.
Thank you.
So you might even see the Lieferando boxes outside. So
thank you very much.
Yeah, it's something that really touches people's lives, firsthand.
And every fifth German and also Austrian, because I'm responsible for both markets, but every fifth German orders with Lieferando from our restaurant partners.
Wow.
So, and imagine we could bring that, or we are doing also a lot to bring that from every fifth to every second German inhabitant, which is still a huge potential for our restaurant partners and, so to say, the core business we have.
From what I can tell, it's also a competitive landscape that you guys have. Could you tell us a little bit about the competition you have, at least for the German market?
Well, I want to start first with competition makes us agile and always creative and innovative. Nevertheless, where do we come from, and what is our business actually, and what is competition in which area?
Yeah.
Maybe one step back to the 35,000 restaurant partners, the 15 million consumers. 93% of the orders we deliver or we serve to the customers are delivered by the restaurant partners themselves.
Yeah.
We are Germany-wide. You can order from Lieferando because many restaurant partners are very in the rural area, and we are mainly their tech advisor, their marketing consultant, and the stage for them, and we put spotlight on them to reach new customers. This is our core business. And for restaurants that do not deliver themselves so far or by now, we also offer our logistics service, which is in total just enabling the restaurant partner to step in that e-commerce/online business, and this increased demand. It is a little bit wind underneath their wings to start in that business, to get used to logistics. And many of them then start their own delivery business. And I can give you some insights also on the services we have for that restaurant partners. So when you say competitors, you compare us with only 7% of orders, Germany-wide. But nevertheless, like I said, it makes us fast and even more innovative to bring out even more services, better services, and good consultancy to our restaurant partners.
I myself, I was also, while reading up a little bit about Lieferando, I was also a little bit surprised to see this number, like 7% is actually the, let's say, the perception of these bikes, like living in urban areas, the kind of perception of the company. But then to see the full spectrum of services was quite impressive.
And of course, there are some more colors in maybe the inner city of Vienna or in some areas of Berlin, then it's more colorful. But Germany has more than 2,000 cities.
Yeah.
And in every city, you can order with Lieferando from a restaurant partner.
Wow.
Sounds funny, but this is a nationwide service. It's really the tech company, Lieferando, and not the logistics company.
Yeah.
I'm super proud of our logistics, and also I'm super proud of the visibility we have on the streets, not only with our own couriers in Orange, but also from our restaurant partners. For example, what do we offer them? Not only the online consultancy and activation, we built up the web shop, the whole shop system, 10 different payment methods that the consumer wants. And it's not easy for a restaurant partner to set up an app, but also to have same payment methods in this system.
Yeah, in a way, I feel like, especially for the traditional, in English you would call them laggers, like the Nachtzügler in German, like this type of target group. You described one of the personas, like this pizzeria. They're not typically the tech-savvy ones. They're not the ones that can have like some IT person in addition to the team, and they're not the ones that even have time to deal with all this sophistication, right? So I think the simplicity and usability is key, and also comparing these people, like it's like almost in the Bible, like the David versus Goliath, like they don't have the methods at hand to compete with the big players. So,
and a very good point from the Efe is time, because Luigi and all the other restaurant owners are in the kitchen, or in best case on their guests to serve them, and also money, because it costs a lot of money. And of course all the BRGs, the branded restaurant groups, all the big names that are also in our app, because it pays off also for them. We are the one-stop shop, and we are in good partnerships with all of them. But this little pizzeria has to compete with those big brands with big marketing know-how and also money. So we are mostly here to support the whole industry of small and medium-sized businesses, to support them in saving time. You don't have to print any flyers anymore. You don't have to do anything on Google keywords or get
the whole online marketing part.
You save money because we have a lot of benefits scalable benefits.
Yeah.
Like I said, we are operating in 20 countries. So we buy pizza cartons, recyclable pizza cartons. We can talk about sustainability
Sure.
afterwards also. We buy recyclable pizza cartons for 20 countries. I put Lieferando on it and sell my cost advantage or transfer my cost advantage to Luigi, who pays only a fourth of the price, like in a wholesale business, which is another advantage of the partnership with Lieferando. So you save time, you save money, and you have more revenue because of our brand awareness, and we worked 23 years on it, right? So everybody knows Lieferando ties besorgt in the Netherlands.
I read something like the average revenue generated by your restaurants is around 100,000 euros per year. Is that true?
Actually, even a little bit more,
Yeah.
130 to 150,000. So overall, Luigi, let's say...
among 35,000 restaurants is...
Correct.
Yeah.
So the average, and 90% of them are the small businesses.
Yeah.
So at the end of the year, 130,000 restaurants stay with you just because of the partnership with you.
How about the pricing strategy? I mean, like, as far as I know, for over 90% of these businesses, you're charging like a 14% commission.
Correct, because most of them deliver by themselves, so it's 14%.
Yeah. To be on the platform, basically.
To be on the platform, to have all the online services, to have the consultancy, to have the marketing, but it's success based.
Yeah.
So there is no risk or no investment.
Pay as you go, like as you
restaurant
generate
owner.
volumes.
Correct. And restaurant owners are business people, so they use Lieferando as their partner because it pays off. So
I recently had an interesting experience. My sister-in-law was moving house, so we wanted to order something over Lieferando, and she said, the fees are quite high, so it's around the corner, so you might as well just go there and pick it up yourself. I'm like, okay, do I really have to? Then I was in the position, like, I love convenience, but I think like sometimes also consumers might be aware, okay, there are like, when they go to the restaurant and see the prices a bit lower, like maybe in certain cases 3-4 euro lower per dish.
If you take away,
for takeaway. And this was just an interesting anecdote that I had.
Yeah.
And do you see this like among your users, or?
For example, we have our...
There's a price for convenience that we have to pay. We know that.
Sure. And consumer does.
Yeah.
So consumer does pay delivery fees. We have the price leadership, I would say. So for
That's also
the
interesting,
shorter treks or the deliveries within, I think, 10 minutes roundabout, you'd pay no delivery fee if we deliver the order. But it depends. We have so many, we call it marketplace restaurant partners also, so they deliver themselves. They are business people and they have also to do their calculations, and sometimes you have that euro of delivery fee. Yeah. But in the end, like you said, when we look back in the last 2 or 3 years, when we were in home office, homeschooling with kids, do you want to cook lunch? No. This is really nice to have lunch with the kids, then delivered by Lieferando or my favorite restaurant at Lieferando.
That's a good segue, actually. I mean, like, how's the situation? I mean, as far as I read a little bit, you guys have experienced a huge ramp up after the pandemic also, right? So
ramp up after the pandemic. So maybe let's also start with the customer from the very beginning. Yeah. So we have really loyal customers, and it's really easy because our approach and one key driver to success is put consumer first, like I said already. So the customer-centric approach brings loyal customers that stick to the app that serves their needs. This is easy. So if you have downloaded the Lieferando app 2012, for example, you're very, very very likely still a Lieferando user. You order more and more and more and more and more because you like it that much, because my team of consultants in the office brings more and more supply, more variety, more kitchen types, some local heroes and some fancy restaurants.
So it's a very long life cycle.
Yeah, and this trend goes up every year. 2020, I have to admit, it was like a boom.
Spike, yeah.
A spike on Friday 13th, I will never forget the day, 2020, when we moved with 2 screens and monitors under our arms into home office for the next year, which was really...
I guess that was March
2020,
yeah.
And from one day to the other, on that weekend, we had so many sign-ups per day, like usually in 1 month.
Massive,
So in March 2020, after 2 weeks, we just had work for 1.5 years.
And as a leader, also, you had to tackle this kind of interesting time, a very disruptive time.
And especially also for my team, this was a quite new experience. Usually you are in kind of sales negotiation, right? We are the digital advisors, we're the consultants, where to, what is your best delivery area, what is the best menu card you can offer, average order value, blah, blah, blah. 2020, we had restaurant partners on the phone that cried because it was their existence, and they relied in that moment on us, because the 34,000 restaurant partners, maybe 32 back then, or 30, that have been already on our in our app, they came along quite well, because from one day to the other they switched from in-house to 100% delivery, but they were already on our app. They had already their Lieferando customers, so they were visible. We are still open.
Yeah.
But all the others had really to struggle, and so this was really a spike in both new restaurants and also orders then, because nobody could go to a restaurant.
Yeah.
But we still see now the increase and the long-term and long-lasting demand, because it is in the routines of our consumers and the consumers of our restaurant partners.
How about the post-pandemic era?
Yeah, and maybe let's talk about the growth potential when it comes to our core business, restaurants. So you have so many food moments per month here. There is breakfast, lunch and dinner. Okay, so 30 days, there are 90 food moments we could empower with Lieferando per month. And if you...
You really have a lot of people ordering breakfast from you?
Yeah, more and more.
That would be surprising, because...
Maybe you are the next one now on Sunday.
I'm like, good idea.
Yeah. See? So there are many food moments we can empower, but there are also a lot of convenience moments. So the snack or sweets for coffee, or the drinks and snacks for the TV night, or the next football match you watch. So we can also empower everyday convenience. And so far, on average, like I said, every 5th German orders via Lieferando from our partners. On average so far, over the 50 million consumers, on average so far, 3 times per month. So the potential is still 90, and maybe I'm exaggerating, you will not order for all the opportunities, but 90 plus all the grocery convenience. And when we talk about groceries, you have been at K5 conference yesterday and the day before, you order groceries every second day, or you buy groceries every second day, or 2 to 3 days per week. So the average order frequency also increases if you combine that overall in the Lieferando app.
But moving even beyond, like, get your a Turkish company expanding to Europe. I've even read that you guys have a cooperation with Getir. How do you see the landscape? I mean, this going back to my earlier question. How do you see the landscape of all these companies kind of tapping into this service going home type of aspect? First of all, how does that cooperation look like, and maybe we can go.
And maybe I come also to what are we offering. We are in growth mode. We are in growth mode for our partners. So we deliver and enrich the time, or enlarge the time we deliver. We deliver a lot for breakfast or late night for the midnight snack. We also go into new cities when there are restaurants that do not deliver yet. We increase delivery areas in existing cities. We increase the density meaning more partners in your hood, in your area you can order from. That means restaurant partners and a lot of different kitchen types, but also the grocery business. So this brought us to new verticals. 2 years ago now, we have supermarkets you can order from, where we deliver or they deliver themselves. Also Getir, a German-wide or nationwide partnership. And you have 2 strong partners, so they are listed in our app. And we bring Getir new customers. We bring our customers this service of grocery delivery. It's a win-win situation.
You're in a way unlocking new potential for these customers.
And also supporting Getir to enter in that market and to serve our customers. And on top, like I said, it's always the consumer who tells us what he or she desires. We're even stepping into convenience and retail. So beyond the regional grocer where you can buy milk and baby food, for example, consumer also wants to order convenience and retail products. So electronics, for example. And just recently, we started the cooperation and collaboration with MediaMarkt Saturn. Just right now, if you would walk to Alexanderplatz after our talk, you could see MediaMarkt Saturn Alexanderplatz orangified inside.
You're saying that with like a big passion.
I will go there afterwards. I love orange.
We see that, you know.
And consumer wants electronics. Thank you very much. We can deliver because we are Lieferando, which is German for deliver. Why not also electronics? And the consumer orders the beatbox for after work party. Sure. Or the iPhone cable, or also a lot of electronics for kids, for example. You can understand that with 2 kids at home, if you need something to play for them in a very stressful situation maybe. And we think further in all the occasions where customers would need something delivered.
I think it's a game changer. I mean, it's when I think of all the times that I use these services, either you're starving because like you had no time to cook, or you actually the services like Gorillas now Getir and stuff. It's like really there you really don't care about the €2 you pay for the delivery fee, because like me going out and spending, I don't have time in the first place. So either I'm gonna call a neighbor, or like I will have to find another solution. So it's like really solving my life problem, you know what I mean? So I had so many of these moments where I was like, I love technology. You know what I mean?
And more people. So my nephew is 13, my niece is 10, the other one is 9 months, but they grow up really different to how we grew up. My nephew would never call a restaurant because it's not efficient. It's error prone, you don't understand anything. So you have everything you can order in as a group. There is no mistake. You can see in the app where your food is, in the food tracker app that we also opened for our restaurant partners that deliver themselves, just to serve the consumer. You want to know when your food arrives, and you want that service. And the Generation Z, the millenniums, or the Generation A that is now growing up, will never call restaurant, and they're used to that service.
I think by the time that they're grown up, we won't need to call anyway.
No.
Google has recently presented during their presentation that AI is in a position to make your calls. It sounds like a human, just can really have a proper conversation and book a table and reserve a seat.
And you see my
like that.
eyes. Yeah,
you're like,
no, because I learned that in one of our events just recently. I'm the Generation X. Sounds really cool, huh? Generation X was the first generation that was in contact with tech, internet. I learned that from Dr. Eliza Philby, a historian, an expert on generation. So we are the first women in contact with tech, and we are also sometimes first women who prefer to work and decide to not have children.
Or lead tech, as we see.
And we are the first women in tech.
Yeah.
So we are inspired by those new gadgets. Yeah. And if you talk about AI, I say, okay.
Yeah, truly.
I'm really looking forward to what we can expect here in the future, because from my generation, it's still like,
apart from, I can imagine like recommender systems and all that stuff, how do you tap into the whole topic of machine learning, AI, to improve your services, provide better services for your customers?
I can rely on the power and the tech experience and tech expertise of Just Eat Takeaway.
Yeah.
So I'm responsible with the local power for Germany and Austria, and responsible for more than 1,100 people taking care of those two markets and the restaurant partners and the consumers.
This is what your niece was proud of.
yeah, correct. Boss, female leader. This is to be this role model. And from the global perspective, I benefit from the global scale of Just Eat Takeaway. So our headquarters, we are more than 4,000 people in product and tech who are creating all those experiences for all the 20 countries. And this is a very luxury position that somebody is taking care of AI, and I will go like in Schlaraffenland and take all the best practices, and I can give you some examples from different countries. I don't have to reinvent or invent something in my country. We are a huge collaboration worldwide. And for example,
are you referring to countries like in Asia or something?
In the countries we operate in, for example, Israel, where the digital canteen, we call it Lieferando for Business or Lieferando Pay, is already 18 years old. And 3 years ago, I just said, this is nice in Israel. This is really good business. You can incentivize your employees with a daily allowance, a budget on a Lieferando account with Lieferando for Business, this digital canteen. And I just said, I also want to have that in Germany, please, and in Austria. The same, for example, so we have 1,100 people with incentivized with a daily budget, and we also sell that to corporate businesses who incentivize with a daily business, also their employees. Wow. How cool is that?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
The same with sustainability. You know that our restaurant partners or the whole industry sees a lot of requirements when it comes to sustainability, the reusable packaging law. And
plus, many consumers are punishing brands for, and even smaller businesses for not being sustainable. I mean, we've seen from several conferences that the readiness to pay more for sustainability is still not there to an extent, but customers do expect sustainable practices.
One of my colleagues worked together in the UK with the startup, I would say, Notpla. Notpla for not plastic, won the Earthshot Prize. Difficult to say Earthshot Prize, but wow, how cool is that?
Yeah.
And Notpla produces, with our help as an incubator, seaweed packaging that decomposes after usage within 6 weeks.
Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I want to have Notpla in Germany and Austria, please. So I'm offering also recyclable
I really like these alternatives because, like, I read Bill Gates' book on sustainability, and he's also even arguing. He's a big fan of plastic somehow. He's arguing that he's arguing that paper can be much more toxic because rotten paper exposes methane gas to the environment, and whereas plastic could be, with innovative practices, plastic could be recycled and all that stuff. I'm not an expert in this, so I don't want to get too deep into it, but I really love businesses that go that extra mile and find something in seaweed. I mean, like, you know what I mean? It's very different than what we usually discuss.
Yeah, and it grows in the ocean,
Yeah.
But the same also, for example, I'm here to make life of customers easier, but also the restaurant partners.
Yeah.
And they have to offer now, if they have a certain size, so more than 80 square meters and more than 5 employees, in Germany at least, this European law, but it's different in any country, they have to offer reusable packaging. And it's really difficult to set up such a system or to offer boxes that you order, Efe, and then you go to, I don't know, Bremen and return your reusable packaging, but the restaurant partner needs it back, actually.
There's this Vital container program, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
We have 3 partners in our app to make it really Germany-wide easy to access.
Which are those?
Vital, they call themselves, and we are, for example, we're also a Vital return box in our office. Maybe you want to visit us. Reball Recap and Relevo.
Yeah.
And the restaurant partner can then, in the menu card that's offered in the Lieferando app, also offer, you can get your order delivered in a Vital reusable box.
In a way, you have a massive role in influencing 35,000 businesses to, like, move into a certain direction, get more sustainable, adjust prices, whatever. Like, you have contact to all these businesses, and you have a massive, important
I cannot force anybody.
Of course not.
But I can make it as easy as possible to also, we see our role as innovator here or enabler for sustainability and doing something for the planet. We take that really seriously. We do a lot. We have e-bikes, the reusable and recyclable packaging. So we decrease food waste and also look on, for example, 3 years now, I personally, but also with Lieferando, support Veganuary. Veganuary in January, actually.
Yeah. I appreciated that from my part.
Really? Because you are vegan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just wanted to put that in there. I really, like, as a consumer, I saw that and I was, like, super happy. Not just you guys, like, it's becoming a movement.
Yeah, it's a routine, and you more and more you eat vegan afterwards because you see how easy it is, from how many restaurants you can order.
Again, convenient
vegan
also,
from.
right? Yeah.
And whatever I can do as role model for the planet to stop food waste, or also as good employer. Yeah.
Katharina, until now we've talked a lot about. First of all, we thank you so much for the insights to get to know Lieferando, really, like, all the services from A to Z, what you provide. But when you look at the media, also there's been massive like strikes also from the bikers, and we've seen that with gorillas. We've seen some for several companies. As a leader, also as a managing director of Lieferando, I want to find out from you, first of all, how do you see this whole like people management, the topic of people management. There are also hard times, you know, like there are hard moments in companies. We've seen how consumer managed from his part these strikes. And how do you see those types of initiatives, and like what are some of the challenges also you've seen? We don't have to always talk about the brighter side of things, but you know, there are also harder times being a manager and a leader of such a big magnitude operation.
Yes. First, maybe what you see and read in the media, especially in the German media, might sometimes be a little bit presented louder than it is, and bigger, and not massive. And it's not massive like you said, so there are no massive strikes, or
at least the perception.
The perception is, and this I can understand because Lieferando has a top of mind brand awareness that is higher than 70%. So if you ask 10 people on the street, where would you order food? 7 or 8 would say Lieferando. So, but wherever you read Lieferando in the press, we take everything, so the good and the bad news, mainly also bad news when it comes to precarious working conditions for couriers and so on. Here I want to state and take this stage as an opportunity. All the around about 10,000 couriers are employed, they get paid for sick leave, they get paid for holidays, and this is good because this is our responsibility as employer, and this is really important for us when it comes to what we do for the planet, what we do for food, and what we do for our employees. And this is already very often a wrong perception in the media. That's what I want to park when it comes to couriers and media, or what you heard from other aggregators, because this is not, you cannot take that for granted that couriers are fully employed or in unlimited contracts. This is special. We have to say that very often. But
in a way, I want to give you also this platform to also clarify that.
Thank you very much. And on the other hand, so leadership is my passion. And I think leadership is a key factor to success for a company. And employers or employees, and our employees deserve to have a very good leader, a manager that is a mentor, a coach, and that empowers for development, that wants to hear solutions, that is a good listener. And also here I take the responsibility I have as the leader of more than 1,100 people here in Cuvriestraße at Oberbaumbrücke. I take that responsibility very seriously because it starts with me, how culture in our company is. Our culture values are lead, deliver, and care. We stand for inclusion, diversity, and belonging. So I'm a proud ally. You will see us on Christopher Street Day, where we want to be ally, or I am ally, and many other from my team are in the LGBTQIA+ community, and we support that. And this is something what is also very important. You all have seen, or you followed me on LinkedIn. That's how you found me also. And the secret here is that it's not just that I'm talking about CSD now and say nice words. It's the consistency over years.
You're walking the talk.
I walk the talk 24/7, 365. And your employees deserve that you keep what you promise. And being an ally, or being inclusive, or being a good listener means also, if somebody comes into your office and asks for a talk, that you are really listening and focusing on this person. And that's sometimes time-wise not easy for me, but it's easy for me because I'm really interested in my team members.
But also internally managing 1,100 people, it's a lot of change management too in terms of really getting people accustomed with the gender. I don't know if you guys have switched to that, like gender-based language and all kinds of like making people heard, giving them a platform. What are some of the concrete measures you've taken?
A lot. And when you say change management, I want to even bring that to the next level, Efe. What we have experienced in the last 3 years, I would call it continuous transformation.
I like that.
That's the next level.
Continuous transformation.
Yeah, because it's not change management and then it's over.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's continuous transformation, and life begins where your comfort zone ends, but it's always a little step further, and you get more experience, which is not easy to lead people through because there's never really room to breathe. Yeah. Or now we're finished with the change management, and again something different. So we are looking for people that embrace change and also the further development after that. And your question was what we are doing here. Well, it's not only gender. It's not only gender language. It's a lot of support and development, coaching, workshops, sessions. Being a good listener also when people are struggling with that momentum to overcome, or it sounds so negative because in the end we do that to become a better version of ourselves every day.
Or evolve, I guess.
Yeah.
What's the representation of women in your organization?
More than 40%, which is really, really good already. But we drill down also with the help of our IDNB global director and his team. We drill down also in the different job family levels to be fair. We do a lot in recruiting, for example. And talking about recruiting, if some of your audience listens and thinks working with Lieferando would be nice, we have more than 100 open positions just for Germany and Austria right now. Like I said, we are in growth mode. We are really proud that we, compared to many others, show our sustainability also. We don't have to lay off like others. We are in the luxury position that we still see so much potential in our area of tech consultancy in the digital gastronomy, that we have more than 100 open positions. So maybe
I mean that doesn't surprise me because if I'm not mistaken by some of the numbers I've seen recently, you're making 10 times more revenue in comparison to 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Especially in e-commerce, we are right now going through a phase for the first time, arguably for the first time, there's a very, very considerable decrease in consumer purchase readiness, so but with this type of last mile delivery and offering this like SMB digitalization package, that is also very impressive.
And the brand awareness, correct? So you see all the players that come into the market, and over the last 3 years you might remember some that entered the market and then left again. Right now also, and in supermarket delivery. So this is really tough, and you need a long breath, you need sustainability, you need a profitable business. This is not so easy. Then money is not easy to find, and investors want to see effects early, and we are here for 23 years now. We're here to stay. It's a very I really love what we do in terms of supporting the whole industry, bringing them further and looking more in the long term, not in the fast make money tomorrow sessions that others have to do probably.
Katharina, we, as part of our podcast, we love to talk about business models like yours. We love to talk about trends and how the journey is going for many companies, but we also love practical, hands-on suggestions and insights from industry experts like yourselves. And especially for SMBs, you've talked about how you're adding value. You've talked about the value chain for SMBs and the services you provide. Maybe you can, maybe we'll ask you to provide like 3 do's and don'ts for SMBs trying to be successful, especially in the restaurant segment. What are one of the most important factors in our day, in today's time, to be successful and reach consumers?
Very good question, because with that answer, I can help my restaurant partners or future restaurant partners, to succeed in that e-commerce.
Yeah.
And I think there's one big do it, listen to the consumer. So just look what does consumer want, and you see convenience, make life easier, joy, food, broad variety. So not only currywurst and not only kebab or pizza. There is a lot of healthy food you should offer, actually, because the number of orders increased incredibly over the last 3 vegan years we had at Lieferando. So if you listen to the consumer, you're already one step ahead. And I think this is already the number one advice I would give to restaurant partners. Don't be afraid of that e-commerce business. This is why companies like we are here. We know it's not easy from this very analog and traditional industry to start with what is e-commerce, actually.
Yeah, without know-how.
How to set up an app. Contact us and get some insights. It's really easy, no investment, no risk. You can also just pull out of the collaboration every 4th week, so why not? Be brave. I think that's already it. I think broad and what future might bring, like AI, there's so much more to come. Don't look back. It has always been like that, and we don't need change. We evolve through that continuous transformation we talked about.
That's a perfect ending, I think. Thank you so much, Katharina, for your time, for your valuable insights, managing a huge team over 2 countries. And I really enjoyed this conversation, and hope to see you next time.
Dito. Thank you very much for having me, Eva.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of the E-commerce Germany News Podcast. If you did, make sure to give us a thumbs up, leave a comment, and follow us on our channels. Feel free to also recommend this podcast to your contacts and friends that may want to know more about e-commerce, digital marketing, and success stories. Thank you very much for listening and watching, and see you on the next episode.